Hello students, welcome to my channel Learning Physics with Vidyut Sir. Today I am going to tell you about a very special physical quantity of physics, and that special quantity is force. So here we are going to study what is force. Definition of the force we'll study. After that we'll discuss about some properties of the force. Then after that laws associated with the force we are going to study. Now let's read the definition of the force. Force is a pull or push. Force when applied on an object produces motion. It is a result of interaction of two or more object in contact. ঠিক আছে? এটা basic forces কি আছে নেচারত? The basic forces are gravitational force, number 1. Then number 2, weak nuclear forces. Then number 3, electromagnetic forces. And the strongest one, number 4, is the strong nuclear forces. Clear this one? Now, depending on how the force is acting between two objects, it is basically divided into two categories. Number 1, contact forces such as pull, push, friction, etc. Number 2, non-contact forces. Non-contact forces are such as your gravitational force and the force between the poles of the magnet and the force between the different poles of the charges. ঠিক আছে? এখানে হলো আমার forceর types. Next আমি পড়ি properties of force. ঠিক আছে? So properties, you can see the number 1, you can say force is a pull or push applied on an object to move the object if it is at rest. Okay, so this is the first property of the force. Then we go to the property number 2. Force is a pull or push applied on an object to stop the object if it is in motion. Okay, then number 3 property, force always causes an object either to accelerate, decelerate or change its shape. Now property number 4, force always acts in pairs. Force সদায় পেয়াৰত act কৰে, action থাকিলে reaction থাকিব. Next, laws of force. What are the different laws of force? So the number 1 is Newton's law of gravitation, the great law. What's the statement? It states that any particle of matter in the universe attracts any other with a force varying directly with the product of the masses and inversely with the square of the distance between them. ঠিক আছে? Now in this diagram you see there are two bodies M1 and M2, and the forces applied by them on each other, one is F1 and another is F2. And do you know what? This is a mutual force. Mutual means F1 must be equal to F2, and mathematically you see it is given, it is Gm1 M2 by R square. This is Newton's law of gravitation. Next, Newton's laws of motion, the most important laws. The physical quantities associated with Newton's law of motion are force. The force is associated. So the first law, Newton's first law states that if a body at rest or moving at constant speed in a straight line, it will remain at rest or keep moving in a straight line at constant speed unless it is acted upon by a force. This postulate is also known as law of inertia. There. Now let's try to understand the first law. You see the ball is on the table, no force is acting on it, so it is at rest. As soon as a force is acting on it towards the right, the ball is keep moving towards the right. Hear this one? This is the illustration of the first law. Next, the second law. The second law of motion, the rate of change of momentum of a body is the resultant force acting on the body, and the change will take place along the direction of the force. Second law is originally stated in terms of momentum P, and applied force is equal to the rate of change of momentum, which is mathematically given below. Clear? Now you see the first law gives us the qualitative definition of force. First law gives us the only definition. but the second law gives us how to calculate quantitative, which is F equal to ma. Now the third law, for every action there is always an equal and opposite reaction. This one we know. Next, the statement means that every interaction there is a pair of force acting on the two interacting objects. So this is all about basic ideas of force, but a lot more you have to study about the force in your higher studies. Thank you very much.